Everyone would agree that 0 and 1 are not the same thing. Yet, we can divide any number by either one of them and get the exact same result. 7 divided by 0 equals 7, and 7 divided by 1 also equals 7. In this situation, 0 actually represents one, at the very least, roughly defined thing, or one unit of nothing by which we're dividing. Now, if we multiply 7 by 1, we get 7. However, if we multiply 7 by 0, we get 0. But is this really true? One would most likely say that it doesn't matter how many things we multiply by 0, we will always end up with 0. But I beg to differ. Yes, it's true that 0 times 7 is always going to be 0, but that's not the math we were looking at. Originally, there existed 7 things which were going to be multiplied 0 times. Just because we're multiplying 7 things 0 times doesn't mean that those 7 things necessarily cease to exist. Those 7 things simply haven't been multiplied by anything other than that 1 0 yet. And 7 times one thing is still 7. So technically, 7 times 0 can still equal 7. Addition and subtraction are no different. However, one might ask, if 0 is a thing, or better yet, it is one defined thing that we all agree exists, then how is it that 7 plus 1 equals 8, yet 7 plus 0 equals 7? This must mean that 0 and 1 cannot be the same thing. But once again, it could be argued that if the 0 is indeed one agreed upon unit, then what we have here are 7 things plus that one thing we call a 0, which means we have 8 things altogether, even if those 8 things are 7 apples and 1 orange. Now, does the concept of 0 truly even infer nothingness in the first place? What about multiples of 10? Did these zeros infer nothingness? Or are they placeholders? And if they are placeholders, then what are they holding the place of? By using these zeros, we all agree that they represent something or things that must exist in some form. But is the same true of 0 by itself? Well, at the very least, 0 is a placeholder, which means that it has conceptual tangibility. The fact that I'm even able to talk about it means that it's a thing. And we even have a symbol for it. It represents the position between 1 and -1. Neither 1 nor -1 can exist without it. In fact, the entire concept of numbers necessitates the existence of 0. And logically, the same could be said in reverse. Numbers need 0 to exist, and 0 needs numbers to exist. But either way, 0 will always exist. Thus, in conclusion, 0 does in fact equal 1. There is no such thing as nothingness, and even humanity's best attempt to represent such a concept still falls short.